Okay, so now we're going to start laying out this right side view. The first thing we're going to do is, I actually kind of made a mistake here, is these lines, I should have put this line in first before I trimmed those off, because we want these lines to go back across. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that line and grab that grip and just pull that line back over to here. And then grab that line, grab the grip, and pull it back over to there. So that's kind of the first step. Now next, what we're going to do is we're going to start blocking out this right side view. For this right side view, though, we use this 45-degree angle that you guys kind of used to putting up here that we did on our last drawing. So we're going to go ahead and put that back in. To put that in, you have to make sure your polar is right down here, have to make sure your polar is set to a 45-degree angle. So if you hit on this little down arrow, the side polar, you'll see, my polar is set to a 90-degree angle. I have to change that to a 45-degree angle for polar. And then now I'm ready to put this line in. So I can go L for line, connect it right there to that intersection, and bring it up here at a 45-degree angle. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring it past. I could just go to there, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it past just because. I don't know why. But there, notice it's locked in. You all should know how to lock those in by now. And lock that into the 45-degree angle. To there. Now to get the width of this right side view, we just come to right there where that 45-degree angle intersects the top of my object. So I'm going to go line, attach it there, and transfer that line straight down. With that, I have the right side view again blocked in. So I can go ahead and trim out to where my right side view is blocked in. Again here, this is where I definitely want you to leave this layout, this 45-degree angle line layout up here. That's one of the things I'm going to grade on. If you turn it in and your drawing doesn't have any of this layout there and it looks, kind of like this, I'm going to say you get a 0, redo this, and show your work. So you'll go back and watch the video and show your work. So don't do that. Make sure this layout's left. Okay, so now next, we have to start putting some of our details on this right side view. Well, let's look at our 3D drawing and see what the right side views should look like. So I'm going to actually erase that out first. Come over here, go to my right side view. So the right side view. I'm going to twist this a little bit so you can kind of visualize first. Again, these two humps we have there. And we have this rectangular portion. Again, I changed the color of it so you can see a little bit better. We're going to have a rectangular shape here on the bottom and 2 more rectangles here on the top because those curved surfaces, they just show as rectangles. So to do that on our drawing, these rectangular parts come from this top view up here. So the first thing we're going to have to do is bring a layout line from this corner straight across to my 45-degree angle and straight down. Then we just rinse and repeat on this other part. So we're going to bring it from that corner straight across and straight down. So get those in there. And okay, so now next, the next part we have is we have that rectangular shape down here at the bottom. That comes from the height of this piece here. So we're going to take a line from that corner straight across to there. And now really all we have to do is trim this up. Well, this line across the bottom gets trimmed off right there. These two lines do not go in this bottom section because that's showing this top little, the humps of the B. So these get trimmed off here. They also get trimmed at the top. And then this little, the humps again of the B are 2 separate items. So they get trimmed out in between, right there. So that now represents the object lines on our right side view. So we can select all those and put those on our object layer. Okay, so at this point, we have the object lines, for the most part, done on our 3 views. The only object lines that we're missing is this hole that is shown right up here. So to get that hole in, we need to look back at our drawing and see what the definition of that hole is. So we're going to go back here to our top view. And the first thing is, I always want to know where the center of the hole is. So from there to there, the hole's a ½ inch over. Okay? From the bottom to there, the hole is 0.75 up. Last thing we're going to do is measure the size of the hole. So again, we always do that with diameter. The hole is a 0.5 diameter. Okay, so now to take it back to our drawing. Up here on the top view, we're going to offset over 1/2 inch to there, so 0.5 over to there. We're going to offset up 0.75 to there. And that gives us those two lines. Those two lines are going to be layout lines though, so we're going to change them both. We're going to select them both and change it to layout. And then now there on that cross, we need to put the hole. So we're going to go circle. And that circle is going to be a diameter of 0.5. So D for diameter and 0.5. And there is our hole. You can go ahead and change that to the object layer. And that portion is done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we got to bring that hole. We're going to start doing some hidden lines. So our first hidden lines we're going to do is going to be from each side of this hole. That hole, you don't see it from the front view, but as we did that hole the other day in our block drawing, a hole is still shown with hidden lines on each side. So there are going to be hidden lines here in the front view on each side of that hole, and lines here in the right side view on each side of that hole. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go L for line, bring a layout line down from that quadrant, straight down, from that quadrant and straight down. Trim those two lines off, and then change those two lines to hidden lines. Next, the exact same thing, we're going to get it over here to the right side view, those two lines. To do that, again, we have to use this 45-degree angle and transfer them from our top view. So we're going to go line, bring it from the top quadrant of that circle, over to our 45-degree angle, and straight down. From the bottom of that circle, over to our 45-degree angle, and straight down. Then once again, we're going to trim them off. And we're going to put those on our hidden layer. So that now shows the hidden lines for that hole in the front and in the right view. Next, we're going to go ahead and do this large hole. So this whole large hole, we're going to take the quadrant of that hole and take it straight up. We're going to take the other quadrant of that hole and take it straight up. Now for where that hole actually goes, let's take a little look at this 3D block. So that hole is showing the quadrants of the circle. So inside of there, when I highlight that, you can kind of see that little line there. Notice that line goes here and here, but there's a break in between because these are two separate little humps of the letter B. So it just goes right there and right there is where those two lines are going to go right now. So the way that looks here is we're going to trim these lines off there and trim them out in between here and here. And then we're going to change those four lines to center lines. Or sorry, hidden lines. Okay, so now, very similar to that, we're going to take the top of the hole, transfer it straight across to my right side view. I'm going to take the bottom of the hole and transfer it straight across. Now again, when we look at our 3D drawing, at the top, it's going to be two separate lines you see there. On the bottom, it's below this surface, so it's a line that goes all the way across. So the way it's going to look here is we're going to trim out on the bottom. That line goes all the way across. This one breaks there in the middle. So again, now we're going to change all three of those to the hidden lines layer. And the hidden lines for that hole is done. We only really have one more part left, and I'm going to have that in the next video. So we'll do that.